Welcome to the Bird Gang Nation Sports Media Show, repping the greatest team of all time. Let's go! Bird Gang 31, he be the host with the most. We going deep, burning teams. They ain't nothing but toast. It's Senor Estes. Sirianni put me in coach, running like Miles Sanders till I bump my head on the post. Touchdown! Yeah, that's coming. Davonte's crazy route running. Jalen hurting them, throwing lasers to Rager, young gunning. Come on! On the D side, we ride, sack him with Fletcher, lay him out on the stretcher. No one can protect you. Watch Darius lay him, shutting down your routes. Come on! In my green John, eating Philly cheesesteaks. Put up your cups, wings up, if you can relate. Tailgating at the link like and subscribe to the Bird Gang Nation that's worldwide. On Sundays, catch the pre and post game. Mondays is Birds on Broad Street with Philly Notion and Cool Cat, the man in motion. And Wednesdays, the midweek special got you open with JC from Eagles Talk, hitting like B-Dog, baby.
Welcome to another edition of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. We have a very special guest today. You know, new member of BGN Sports Media. Welcome, Danny, Green Bay Packer content creator. How you doing today, girl?
I'm good. Got my Snoop. If anyone hasn't tried it, go get you some.
Go get you some. Nice. Is that the Cabernet?
I don't know, honestly. I didn't even read it. It had a Snoop face on it, so I bought it.
That's what's up. I like it. I like it. So, Danny, tell everybody, you know, what made you become a Packers fan?
I was about 9, maybe younger, around that time though. And my stepsister at the time, she was a Packers fan. So, not to get too personal, but so my dad was married to her mom. It was not the best relationship, so I would kind of like run away from it and go watch these games with my stepsister. And it was just like an escape from reality type thing, and it just stuck. So I just never stopped watching, and here we are.
Nice. How you like the Packers season?
Mixed emotions. It was a fun season. Obviously, didn't end the way that we wanted. So I don't want to call it a failure. I mean, we picked up some good pieces that we didn't have before that we've needed for a while. A lot of good things came out of it, but obviously didn't end up where we wanted to go.
Hey, number one seed is always a good thing. You know, every team hopes to be that number one seed going into the playoffs. And you guys definitely did that.
I don't know if it's a good thing anymore. You know,
hey, don't feel bad about your team. I will feel a little bit bad because we got some key players like we have on it, you know, on the thumbnail there. We got Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. You know, two players that future in Green Bay is looking kind of shaky right now. What do you think about it? Let's start with your quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. What do you think? Is he staying in Green Bay? Is he leaving?
My gut tells me he's staying. I mean, we really don't know. It's anybody's guess at this point. I mean, there's going to be rumors until he comes out and says what he's doing, but I think he'll come back. I think if I think a lot of it's going to ride on Davonte. A lot of it will ride on how many pieces they can keep there. Um, if they get Davante back, I don't see him leaving. Why would he want to go to the AFC with all that young talent coming up? That would be if he wants to win now, I would assume.
Hmm.
So going into the AFC is just gonna make that harder. And then you got the NFC where Tom Brady just retired. Um,
What happens if he goes to Tampa
so
Bay?
oh, I don't think so. Who knows? But I don't see that happening. My earbuds keep falling out. But um, so he's top dog in the NFC right now. I just don't see a better situation for him that would be better than Green Bay, especially if they can figure out a way to keep Davante around at least for one more year.
Yeah, Davante Adams is a stud,
Hmm.
and he definitely needs some more weapons there. I know you guys brought back Cobb this year. Lazard's still there. You got some nice little pieces, but Davante Adams is definitely the engine that makes that offense go. Do you think if you guys can't get Davante Adams back that he would stay?
That Aaron would say,
Mm-hmm.
"Ah, I don't know. I don't think so, but who knows what he's thinking? He is he's such an enigma. I just who knows? I don't know. He says he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, if he gets traded, I feel like teams would have to give up so much for him. It would be like he's going to a rebuild anyway. So I just if he's not going to retire, I don't see what the point in leaving Green Bay is.
Do you think he
Um,
says that rebuild thing just because if Adams doesn't come, he feels like you're gonna have to rebuild that receiving core, which is
I
kind
think
of
that I
making
think
that
that's what he
offense a rebuild.
yeah, I think that's what he meant mostly is
Mm-hmm.
Davante leaving. Um, but I mean, the Packers seem to have a plan, so they say. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. But I think it's going to ride mostly on, I think both of their decisions are going to ride mostly on each other. So
Yeah.
if they
I,
can get it done with one of them or both of them, I think they both stay together.
what's your personal opinion? Do you want both of these guys back?
Yeah. Well, I want Davante back. Yes. Um,
Ooh.
well, let me explain. I do want Davante back 100%. I talked about this on my other, or we talked about this on my other podcast, whether um, does Aaron make Davante? Does Davante make Aaron? Um, we see a lot of receivers leave a team, or you see like Greg Jennings or Jordy Nelson leave a team or leave Aaron,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're not putting up the same numbers they did with him. But with Davante, we saw when Aaron got hurt when he broke his collarbone, um, Davante was still catching passes from Brett Hundley like it was
Mm-hmm.
Aaron out there.
Yeah.
So I don't personally think that if Davante were to leave, I still think he's going to be Davante Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would want him to stick around because I think he's great no matter who your quarterback is.
Facts.
Um, so with Aaron, I'm at a point to where I don't care either way. If he's my favorite player of all time. I think he is the most talented quarterback of all time. So of course I would be fine if Aaron came back. We could just try to run it back again, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
See if they can actually make it this time. Of course you're going to want the best quarterback in the league on your team. So if he comes back and Davante comes back, that's all fine with me. But if they decide to trade him, they're going to get a lot of pieces for him. So
Mm-hmm.
that's going to help set up our future, whoever, whatever quarterback that may be. Hopefully, the trade would help to put some pieces around that quarterback. So
It,
I think the worst thing that could happen is he retires because then we don't get anything,
get
and then we
anything,
don't
yeah.
have him either. So I'm just kind of at peace with whatever happens this time. Last year I was not at peace when when all those rumors were going around. I was heartbroken. I didn't want him to leave, but I mean,
It's
now
time.
we kind of know that, but we didn't know. We had no idea there were issues with him in the organization. We weren't expecting him to come out and say, "Hey, I might not be back." We
Mm-hmm.
were kind of blindsided by that. So I think that's why we were a little bit more upset. So this year we're kind of expecting it that he could possibly not be there again. And also, I mean, he got Cobb like he wanted. He got the defense he wanted. He got the game at home like he wanted, number one seed. This was the year, in my opinion, that they should have got it done.
Yeah.
So
My boy Drew said, "Do you think he's holding the team hostage? You know, he wants to make the organization suffer. For giving
no,
up on him."
a lot of people do say that. I don't agree with that. Aaron said he's going to make his decision as soon as possible, but before free agency starts. That's so I would imagine sometime this month we'll know what he's doing. So no, I don't think so. He's talked about how much better their relationship has gotten within the organization. I don't think he's doing anything maliciously. I think he's just wanting to make the right decision, and he will let them know as soon as he can, I hope.
And if he does go, are you more into the draft, going and drafting a quarterback? Do you think Love's that guy? I know we've seen Love play a couple of snaps this year. He wasn't
Yeah,
looking too hot there, you know.
he
Or
he
would you
hasn't played
want to
in
go get one of these veteran guys that could be free agent?
he hasn't Love hasn't played, and I don't want to go get another veteran just to have them leave. Like, I want them to find their young quarterback that's going to be with them for the long haul. I don't want to keep getting veteran quarterbacks. I would rather them find someone that's going to be on the team for a while. As for knowing if he's ready or not, he hasn't played enough to even be able to make that decision. Aaron Aaron was not good. His first few games that he came out, you just you know, we can't make that decision right now. He hasn't played enough. We haven't seen enough from him.
So you think if he leaves, it's just the beginning of Love season? It's time for Love era to start and see what we got
Yeah,
with Love. So
yeah.
don't even mess with quarterbacks.
Yeah, they got it. I think they would have to give Love a chance because of all the drama they started with drafting him, with all the drama they started with
Crazy.
Aaron. Like I would hope they would give him a chance to, because that started a whole shitstorm drafting him in the first place.
Yeah, it
So
did. Started a lot of drama with him. And I think people were kind of disappointed when they seen, him start so slow. Like I don't think he had started 2 games this year.
the Kansas City game, and I think he come in for Detroit game or whatever when the starters weren't playing, because they had already locked the division down and all that. So I think he came in the second half or just when all the starters had gone out. I didn't even watch that game, but yeah. So that's all we've really seen of him.
Yeah.
So there's just no way to tell right now.
With the off season, him growing, you know, it's a possibility Love could still be that guy. You know, Brett Favre was here in Green Bay, was there in Green Bay, before Aaron started, and like Brett didn't really want to leave when he left, but then Aaron kind of pushed him out. It's like it's time for Aaron Rodgers, his career to start. Like you said, he didn't start out that hot, but he ended up being one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Do you see that kind of characteristic with, Jordan Love? Like I'm not in Green Bay. I don't really watch the Packers that closely. But do you see any kind of problems? Like I don't know if you watch any highlights, any training camp stuff that shows that Aaron. Love could be that quarterback of the future.
I personally never did. Well, I have not seen the only playing I've seen of Love is what he's done this season.
Mm,
But I mean, you got to I guess trust the drafting process and know that the Packers are generally pretty good at it.
mm,
Um, so just trust the process, I guess, and guess we'll find out.
yeah. So let's move on to Davante Adams. I've heard speculation that the Eagles are looking to pick up Davante Adams. And I told the
I'm
Eagles, all you Eagle fans out there, you guys know that is the only receiver that I would break the bank for is Davante Adams. We bring Davante Adams with Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins. I think we have a formidable receiving core. But people think, he might go wherever Aaron goes. If Aaron stays there, he probably stay there. If Aaron goes somewhere, he probably try to get there. What do you think about Davante Adams, and where do you think he'll go?
That's a tough one. Um, I think if it's possible to just stay wherever Aaron is or go wherever Aaron is going, I think that's what they're going to try to do. But I don't see anybody. I don't know what team would be in the market for both of them. It's
That's
going
a
to be,
lot of
it would
money.
be, yeah, it's
That's a
crazy.
lot
It's
of
going to be
money. Because you
a
look at Aaron,
crazy,
what, $40 million? Davante
crazy
is like
package there.
$20 million. So that's a $60 million cap hit if you bring both of these guys in.
Devontae's asking for a lot of money, but someone's going to give it to him. There's always that team out there that's going to shell out the money somehow. But like I said, I think if the Packers can get it done to where it makes Davante happy, he'll stay. I
And
think he'll stay.
because I know we seen some Davante Adams articles earlier in the season saying that he wants to go play with his old college, teammate and David Carr over there in Vegas.
Derek Carr, yeah.
Derek Carr, yeah,
Yeah.
Derek Carr. I always get their names
Yep.
mixed up.
um, I think Devontae will. I think he want if Aaron stays in Green Bay. I think Devontae stays there as long as they can make that happen. Otherwise, I think he's just going to go where he gets paid, and who knows which team that's going to be. It might not matter where he. I mean, it matters where he wants to go, obviously, but I'm sure there's going to be a team that gives him the money he wants, and that's where he's going to go, unless the Packers can get it done for him. I
What do you rank these guys? Aaron is elite. Some people think Brady's the best. Some people think Aaron's the best. Where do you rank these guys now that Brady's leave? Is Aaron just clear cut the number one quarterback in the NFL?
Oh man, I think he's I think he's the most okay. So Brady and Rodgers. I think Brady was the most accomplished. I think he had the better teams around him all these years. I think he had the better coach around him, which made a huge difference. I just think that Aaron is more talented. There's just nobody who can make the throws he does, the way he sees the field, how smart he is, um, the way he can recall plays that happened 15 years ago off the top of his head. I just, when it comes to stuff like that, I think that's unmatched. I think he's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Interceptions, obviously, barely has them. He's been the MVP. He will be this year, I would think. So 2 years in a row. Um, it's just, I don't know what happens to him in the playoffs. He's a completely different. Well, I don't want to say every single game because he's had games where his defenses, or well, Aaron will put up all these points, and then his defense lets him down, or he doesn't get the ball again in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's a loaded question. I think he is the most talented, and I think he's the best during the season. I think he's the best quarterback. But then you look at, I think Joe Burrow is probably going to surpass him. Um, you just got all this young talent coming
Burrow's a
up, and
beast.
yeah, and you really don't know how well they're going to keep playing. I don't see Joe Burrow falling off anytime soon. Um, it's hard. I don't know if I guess I would call him the best. Um, he just needs to prove it more in the playoffs. But during the regular season, I think he is the best quarterback.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Aaron's better than Tom Brady. I'm not the hugest. If people follow me, they know I'm not the hugest Brady fan. I think he's good. He's great. Is he the best of all time? Not really. Is he top five? Maybe. Is he top 10 for sure? But where between 4 and 10, I'm not sure exactly where I put Brady in terms of all time. But he's a good quarterback. But I feel like his teams, his coaches, have really been really good that he's been on. Like last year, everybody, oh, Tom Brady does it again. But you're like, whoa, they had an all-star team. It's hard to
Mhm.
say, if Tom Brady did it by himself when he has an all-star cast around him. The Patriots got Belichick, one of the best coaches ever, you know, and they always had good defense. They always have some nice running games. So it's hard to say that Tom Brady was really that guy that won all them Super Bowls. When I watched Tom Brady his first 3 years, be the game manager. You know, they had a great kicking game. They had a good running game. You know, great defense. That's really what won those first 3 Super Bowls for him. But over time, did he become great? Yes. You know, I think anybody that's been in the league for 20 years is going to be a good quarterback. You done seen all the defenses. You done seen all the coverages. You know, so I really like guys like, for me, Peyton Manning's like up there being number one. You know, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, you know, Aaron Rodgers, definitely one of those guys. He's a gunslinger. You know, he goes out there, he handles his business, he can put balls in places nobody else can put balls. You know, Aaron Rodgers definitely that dude. But let's get to Davante Adams. Do you think Davante Adams is the best receiver in the league?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have to think about that one. You're like, he's the best, straight up.
Yes, I do. He knows it. We all know it.
Even better than
Yeah.
Hopkins.
I think they're neck and neck. I think they're both right up there.
What's your favorite parts of his game?
I mean, I don't know all the X's and O's and the terminology, but his route running, just the way you freaking breaks ankles all the time. He's just I don't he can just how do I say this?
His athletically gifted.
Just it's just the route running, just how crisp it is, how his moving, his how he can make everyone just miss, like think he's going one way and he actually goes the other. He's just I don't know. I can't explain it because I don't know the X's and O's behind the terminology behind football, but um he's just unmatched in my
Yeah.
opinion.
He's big, he's physical, he's fast, he gets open, he knows
Mhm.
everything. I think he's better than Hopkins personally. Hopkins gets hurt too much for me.
I think
You know,
Davante, I don't think I mean, he's not the fastest, Davante,
but he's still fast for his size.
but
And I think that's
very,
what the Eagles need. We need a big body physical receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like Davante Adams. You know, you just throw it in his facility and he's gonna go get the ball. You know? And I think a lot of people don't realize how much a receiver like him does help a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. Like you said, when Huntley was in there, Davante was still being Davante Adams. You know what I'm saying? He was still catching balls, scoring touchdowns, doing his thing when he didn't have that elite quarterback throwing him the ball. You know, so I think Jalen Hurts would definitely improve and be a lot better with a guy like Davante Adams on
see,
that side.
and like I was saying with that argument, does Davante make Aaron Rodgers better? Does Aaron make Davante better? So I had already said Davante was catching balls from Brett Hundley, so I think he would be good with any quarterback. But at the same time, Aaron has had to play without Davante, and he's I think maybe 6 times, something around there, and he is undefeated. Aaron won every single one of those games without it. So
Nice.
I think they're just the best at what they do. Um, Without each other, I think they're still going to be great. Still going to be the best.
So
They're just that good to where they're still going to be good without each other. But they have such great chemistry. They don't want to be without each other. They just do things that I mean, like I said, they're going to be good no matter who they're with. But there are the chemistry, some of the back shoulder throws, like stuff like that. Um, that I don't think they each of them could do with anyone else.
now I want you to answer this question then. How good could the Packers be without both of them? Like, if both of them leave, what do you
Well,
think
like
the whole Packers legacy is going to? Is it going to be like, oh man, now the Packers are trash? You know, they're in total rebuild mode. Like,
um,
how big of an effect do you think it will be for the Packers next season if both of these
like
guys?
I said, if I don't see it happening, I don't see Aaron coming back without Davante. But if if he were to come back without him, I think Aaron's going to be fine. I think
Mhm.
the Packers will still be contenders because they'll still have Aaron, and when you have Aaron, you're always going to have a shot. Um, but if Davante were to stick around, if Aaron leaves, we're done. That's it until
You think you're
we
done? No, no
get.
hope for no hope for love. You don't have
I
no
don't.
love for love.
My gut feeling is no, he's not the answer, but we don't know that. Maybe I could be completely wrong about that. Um, but even if he does end up being our next long-term quarterback, he's probably not going to come out his first season and get us to the playoffs. So whether or
So you
not he
think
ends
it'll
up
be going to
being,
rebuild mode?
um, yeah, probably. I think if Aaron does not stick around, I would see a rebuild most likely. Um,
The
but I
BG
think they want him back so badly. I think they're going to do whatever it takes to keep everybody that they possibly can right now for at least another year, I would think.
nice. So BG asked Daniel about Jar Alexander being a free agent. What do you think about that?
I don't think there's any way JR goes anywhere. They're gonna make it so I would think he would be one of the top priorities over anyone.
What about what's the one we're talking about backstage?
Devondre Campbell.
Yes.
Oh man, I will be so upset if they can't keep him. They've been looking for that linebacker position for so we have needed Devondre Campbell for so long, and they have got to do something to keep him. Whatever they got to do. Devondre needs to stick around. Jair needs to stick around. I hope Russell Douglas can stick around.
That's an old Eagle. That's an old Eagle guy. And
Oh,
he playing better for you guys than he did for
yeah,
us, that's for sure.
we love him. We love him. And he said that he would even all that the Packers would have to do is ask him to come back, and he would come back. So, um,
What
yeah,
do you
I
guys?
think
You know anything about your salary cap? How's that looking? Because you just named
bad.
a lot of key
It's
players.
bad.
That's a lot of good players you're talking about trying to keep here.
I don't I
Like,
don't want to I don't want to pretend like I know anything about cap because I don't. I know
okay,
nothing about it. I look at the cap space, like all the players and all the numbers. It gives me a huge headache. I know nothing about it at all, and I will
but you
not
know it's
pretend.
bad. You said
But I know it is not good. Yeah. So
so you're gonna be losing some of these players.
oh yeah.
So which
So
ones do you
yeah.
think out of those 40 you just said
Those
Adams?
ones I'm hoping that we're not going to lose any of the ones I just said, but in order to keep them, we are going to have to lose people like Zadarius Smith most likely. Um, I'm not sure about Preston. I'm thinking they'll try to get him to stick around, but there are going to be some players who are going to have to leave in order to keep the others. Um, hope I don't know if they can do if some players are willing to do like team friendly deals to where they take less to stay in Green Bay if Aaron is staying. If Aaron's not staying, I don't see players really taking less to be there.
Right.
Like Aaron said, teams don't go or players don't go to Green Bay for
Facts.
the nightlife, for the
Yeah.
partying.
For the
They go
cheese.
to yeah, they go yeah, the beer and the cheese. They go there to try to win a championship with him. That's why people want to go to Green Bay. So I think
He's gone.
if he sticks around, maybe they can get some team friendly deals done with some of these players, or hopefully Aaron does something to where he takes some kind of like I said, I know nothing about this stuff. I'm just
Yeah.
guessing and hoping that
Hmm.
maybe he could take something less to have more stick around. Who knows? But
Like the Tom Brady
we
approach.
are,
Take
yeah,
less so
right,
you can get
right,
more.
right.
Yeah.
But we are gonna lose.
I doubt that with Aaron. He's about that cheese.
Yeah, yeah.
He got them commercials.
Well, I don't know.
He's
He
making that
said
money.
he said
He
it's
knows
not
he's
about the
old.
money. He said it's not about the money anymore. So we'll see. But
We'll see.
yeah,
Do you know any other? Are
yeah.
there any other key free agents that you know of that are going to be free agents this offseason?
For the Packers,
Yeah.
Devondre Russell, MVS Marquez, Valdez Scantling.
Ooh,
I think that's a big
like
one.
him.
Yeah, I think I
Lazard. Wasn't Lazard a free agent too?
he's I can't remember what's going on with Lazard. It's a little bit different with him, but
Mm-hmm.
MVS, I saw a report that there's mutual interest in him staying even if Aaron does not stay, the quarterback. I think they need to keep him. He's fast. He is the only fast receiver I think that we've got. He's the deep threat. When we didn't have him in the playoffs, it showed. Um, I think they need to do what they can to keep him, and if they don't, I think the draft we're gonna have to get some speed at wide receiver for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's some good guys coming out of this draft.
Yeah.
You don't want a
Uh,
veteran though. Like I think if you got a guy like Love, you might want to surround him with some of these veteran free agents. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Juju, you got OBJ, you got Kirk from Arizona, you got Mike Williams. You might want to try to go veteran with this young quarterback just to make sure he has, reliable talent. Because I feel like that's what the Eagles been going through. We got all this talent at the receiving position, but none of them reliable. None of them's proven. And when you get to the playoffs like we did, we know we made it to the first round. But every other team in the playoffs were way better than our team. You know what I'm saying? Like they have veteran guys at these positions, proven players. And I think that that's what you really need when it comes to playoff football. You need some guys that you can count on for sure. And for Green Bay Packers to be number one, I can still see them making the playoffs if they can keep most of these guys, maybe, even if they lose Aaron. Like, 'cause I seen a little bit of Jordan Love. Did he play great? No, but he's young. You gotta if he knows he's gonna be the starting quarterback next year, he's has all off season to work hard, and get his stuff together because the Green Bay Packers wouldn't keep him if they didn't think, what I'm saying, they'd probably go out and draft a quarterback if they didn't think Love can do the job. They went through this
right.
with, far before, and I think that Jordan Love is definitely there for a reason, you know, and he played some good football in college and he's been behind, an all-time great for 2 years. So let's see what he can do in a full season with a full off season, see what he can bring to the team. So if you guys can keep Adams and if Far, I mean not Far, but Rogers leave and you can keep Adams, I think he'll be in good shape. Because, like you said, Adams makes players great. He makes quarterbacks great, look good. So if you guys keep Adams with Lazard and uh, Scandrick, if he comes back too, like you guys definitely have a good receiving core. How's your running backs looking? Is Dylan and Jones both under contract this year?
Yeah, I believe we're gonna have both of them. I think the running back room is our they're locked. They're they're all good. I don't think we have any issues with the running backs this offseason.
And I
Um,
think you said you had a chance to interview Dylan, right?
yeah.
How did that go?
He's a great guy. He's very funny, very humble, easy. Like it felt like I was talking to just a friend. I was nervous at first, but once you start talking to him, it's not even like you're talking to AJ Dillon. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, so that's on the Cheesehead TV YouTube channel. Um, and it was on that channel. They generally get a Packer player every year, I think. Pretty, it seems like to do a show with them for the regular season. And I mean that show with him, it was Carry the G with AJ Dillon. I mean they talk about football here and there. They do ask him questions about it once in a while, but it was just like I said, it was like mostly talking to a friend, just getting to know him outside of football, and it was a fun show. It was probably the coolest thing I've ever done.
Nice, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, man. That it is always awesome we get to play. Talk to some of your favorite players. Like we
Mhm.
had Corey Simon and Bobby Taylor on the show earlier in the year, and that was just like a dream come true. Like, hey, these are OG Eagle, players that aren't playing anymore, but still, like you at least got one that's playing right now. Did you say anything about wanting to be the number one guy in Green Bay, as opposed to like I know he's behind Aaron Jones, and that's a pretty good running back.
You know, I don't think maybe last year that's how it was, but I think they both just play such different parts in the offense that neither of them are number one. They're both number one is what I mean. Like I don't
Hmm.
think Dylan is behind Jones. I don't think Jones is behind Dylan. I think they do two separate things. I think they're both useful and or one of them's more useful in one situation and the other one is useful in another. They both just bring a
Two
lot of
different
different things to
elements.
right, different things to the
Hmm.
team. Like when you want to go punch it in the end zone, you're probably going to have Dylan down there because he takes everybody with him. He's
Right?
yeah. So um, And then Jones is just fast right up the middle, just quick. They just bring such different elements to the team that I don't think one of them is number one and the other one is behind. They're both number one and they both bring a lot to the team.
I like that. I
I
agree.
think
And I think the league's moving towards that, you know. And even when people say like number one receiver, number two receiver, like if you notice the elite teams got like three receivers that could be number ones on a lot of different teams. You know, two running backs that could be number ones. Look at Cleveland with Chubbs and Hunt. You know, over there in Green Bay with Dillon and Jones. Like it's becoming more of the norm. You need as much star power as you can to get to the Super Bowl nowadays. So, um, we got a question
yeah.
for you. It says, how many Green Bay jerseys do you have?
I only have Rogers. I have Rogers and Favre. I don't know where my Favre one is. I haven't seen it. I've moved a lot over the past few years and have not seen that one in a while. It's packed away somewhere, probably in my attic, but I just have the two quarterbacks.
And
That's
then he
it.
said,
I honestly don't wear a lot of Packer gear. This is gonna sound awful, but I don't like their colors.
what?
So
You don't
so
like
I
the
don't
green
really
and yellow?
so I don't really wear them. And on game days, I used to wear Packers gear, and I swear to God, they lose every single time. So I stopped wearing my gear on game day. So I was like, there's no point in buying a bunch of stuff I'm never gonna wear. I have a lot of Packers hats, beanies, winter hats, but clothing really, I don't really buy it.
That's cool. That's cool.
I got a lot of
It's,
pictures,
you got a lot of
a lot of
pictures.
a
That's
lot of
good.
art. See, like this
Oh, look at that. That's a sick one. I like that. I like
stuff
that.
like that. I got a lot of. But
And then this part B of that was like, who's your favorite all-time Packer player? He says, or one for offense, one from defense, and one for special teams.
um, defense, special teams, all time. That is tough. Aaron is my favorite quarterback. For sure. That there's no
Even more than
competition.
Favre?
I mean, Brett Favre got me to like the like Brett Favre is the gunslinger. He's the risk taker. He's tough. He'll play through anything. And then, but I think Aaron's better. Aaron's smart. Aaron's just a different breed, really. I love them both. I just think Aaron's better. That's all
Hey,
there is to
that's all
it.
good. You ain't got to explain yourself.
um,
That's true.
they're both obviously I love them both, but I love Aaron just a little bit more. So he's definitely my favorite quarterback. BJ Raji, I think, is another
Oh,
all-time
BJ
favorite of
Raji
mine.
was a beast.
I love him.
He was a beast. I hated him. You couldn't run at BJ Raji at all. Like he'd clog up that middle quick. Like
I loved Dorsey Levens when I was younger.
yeah, I Dorsey.
Um, Amon Green, and then I think my favorite wide receiver. That's hard to. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Davante. I generally would have said Jordy, but
What about Donald Driver?
I love them all. Donald Driver, Charles Woodson when he was on the Packers.
Yeah,
I have to put him up there with my favorite defensive players. There's just so many of them. I love Donald Driver. I love James Jones. Um, but the way that Davante carries himself and his skill set, like his just overall being, I love Davante, and I think I would put him number one. Maybe
I,
next to Sterling Sharp, but
oh yeah, Sterling
yeah.
Sharp. Can't forget
But
about that guy. That
there's
guy's
there's been
legendary.
there's so many classic, so
You guys
many
had a
great
lot
ones.
of good receivers actually. Now that I
Yeah,
think about it.
yeah.
He said, "I'm not sure if we dived into your, draft status or not, but they want to know who you're picking in the first round for the Green Bay Packers if you were GM.
For what?
The Green Bay
What was the
Packers.
last?
Who would you
Who did
pick?
in the draft?
Mm,
Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't watch college football. I never have. I have not watched one game. So the draft, it's fun to watch because there's no football going on. So I pay attention to it, but I don't pretend to know anything about players coming into the draft because I don't watch college football. I can tell you who I think they need to get, which would be I think a wide receiver. I think we need another fast receiver like MVS, especially if we don't get to keep him.
Yeah.
But when it comes to specific players, I don't pretend to know about them.
That's
So
all good. Straight
I'll,
NFL, baby. Yeah, we love it. We love it. Is a better trouble by Saints. So, what was your favorite game this year?
oh man, I would have to. That's a there's a few, but I think it would have to be Arizona. Um, Russell getting that game-winning interception against that was his old team or one of them, I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure. Um, and they were an undefeated team, and I think we went and ended that streak. That was just I think that was like Green Bay's arrival game. Like, hey, we're the team to beat in the NFL. Um, but I think that Russell interception did it for me. I think that made that my favorite just because he came off their practice squad. I am pretty sure about that. So I think that's pretty cool that that game ended that way for him.
That was cool. It made a lot of Eagles fans mad. I tell you that much. We were mad over here. Like, what the heck is Rasul doing over there in Green Bay? He didn't do that stuff over here in Philadelphia, man. What's going on? What's going on?
Some sometimes it just takes different scenery, different people around you, different coaches. Um, yeah, I think that's what happened with Russell. He just needed something different.
Did you watch any Philly games this year?
Um, no, I did not. I was gonna tell you though, Sirianni went to my high school.
What?
Yeah,
What? Now we
yep.
gotta hear this story because that is
That's all I know. I don't
exclusive.
know him. I don't know him personally. I think he's a lot. Do you know how old he is?
I want to say he's like I know he's one of the youngest head coaches in the league. I'm not sure
I'm
exactly how old he is.
I'm pretty sure he's a little bit younger than I am. I never was friends with him. I know people who were, but yeah, he's from my town. So
And that's in what? Where is that at?
um, it was I don't know. It's in New York. It's not in Buffalo. It's about an hour and a half away. We're close to like Erie, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
Jamestown, New York. No one knows what that is, but he is
I'm
from here. We're just some small town in the middle of nowhere.
What is it to
Um,
do there? How did you become a Packers fan? You said your dad, right? Like was there
my
any
stepsister.
temptation of being a Giants fan or a Jets fan or
If
Eagles
there
fan?
was if there was any temptation to be any other team, it definitely would have had to be the Buffalo Bills because that I whenever anyone asks me where I'm from, I just say Buffalo just because I'm so close to there and
Nina said
no
Nick is 40.
what was that?
Nina said Nick is 40.
Vic Sport. He's not is he really? He is not that old for real. Um so yeah,
Was he
the
still
Buffalo
younger than you?
he isn't I can't believe that. Is that a joke?
That for real. Nina is
Um
certified. She's a certified fan.
I thought he was a lot. I don't know why I thought he was younger. Um, so yeah, if there was any kind of temptation, it would have been the Bills. But thank God because
No. Don't want to be.
I can't.
But the Bills played good this year. They got a good quarterback, Josh Allen, doing some
They
good things
did.
with them.
They they did, and they're great. Josh Allen's great, but I think growing up in Bills country, it's just hard to deal with the fans here.
There is a
They
Bills
drive
country.
me
That's
nuts.
weird. It's weird how you guys got like three teams right next to each other. The Giants and Jets share a stadium. That's how close they are. And
Well,
then
The Giants and Jets they're like more New Jersey, New York City area, so that's about 6 or 7 hours away from me. Buffalo is just an hour and a half.
okay.
So Philly isn't by the New York City, Jersey area, so that's still pretty far, the 6 hours away. So the closer teams to me actually would be the Bills. Cleveland's only like 2.5 hours from me. Um, what else? Yeah, so those are actually farther, Philly and Giants and Jets, they're farther away.
Yeah. So you never liked the Eagles growing up?
Um, I never didn't like them. I don't not like them.
Hey, it's cool. It's cool. You know, we
Like
just
I never had anything bad to say about them, but I mean it's always just been the Packers for me and that's it. So,
who do you got in the Super Bowl?
oh man, I that's gonna be a great one. Um, I'm hoping Joe Burrow. I really, really, really I love him. When Aaron's gone, Joe Burrow's gonna be my favorite.
Jalen Hurts
Um,
is gonna be your favorite.
no, I don't think so. Um,
See, no, not
I
that
want
guy.
Joe Burrow. I want Joe Burrow, but I don't know. That they have the Rams over there. They got a super team.
Yeah, they did.
Um,
I always say when everybody asked me, I was going to Rams already paid for their Super Bowl this year. You know, just kind of like how Tampa Bay paid for their Super Bowl last year. They brought all the players in, you know, and they got their quarterback finally. And like the Rams went and got their quarterback, and they paid for all these extra players. I think they kind of paid for the Super Bowl. Like I would love to see Burrows do it, you know, with no offensive line. But if you don't have no offensive line against the Rams, man, that defensive line is ridiculous. Like they're all
yeah.
Pro Bowl players. You know,
Yeah.
they're about
That's
to.
right. So I see them in Joe Burrow's lap that entire game. Like I
Yeah,
think he's gonna have some pressure, a lot of pressure. So I think it's gonna come down to how well he deals with that. Can he get the ball out fast enough to chase before he gets killed? So that's I mean, what game was it that he got sacked 9 times at
yeah,
least? What was that, the Titans? But they won obviously, but
yeah. They
um,
still won. That's crazy.
he was getting murdered in that game and going up against the Rams with Darnold and well, Von Miller, everybody that they got over there. That's going to be a tall task for Burrow. So hopefully his offensive line can get it together because I don't want to see him get hurt.
I don't see him get. It seems like you're a kind of favorite quarterback. You're like, yeah, go ahead and leave, Aaron. I got Burrows in the pocket.
No,
You gonna
I
be a
do love that.
Bengals
I love
fan
him.
now?
No, I'll always be a Packers fan the rest of my life. But if someone were to come to me and say, "Hey, who's your favorite player outside of the Packers?" It would be Joe Burrow.
Nice. Nice. Do you have any LSU ties?
No,
No. You just like Burrows.
I just love him. Yeah, I think he's hilarious. He's got some swag. I don't know. He's just a really likable person, and he's a great quarterback, and he's
Yeah, he's
young,
pretty
and
cool.
yeah,
I feel you. I got you.
I'm rooting for him.
I'm rooting for him. That's what's up. That's what's
But I
up.
think Joe Burrow and a Matt Stafford Super Bowl is going to be great. I think that's going to be a fun one where we can all enjoy it, where it's not going to matter who wins because they're all so
They're not our
likable.
teams.
Like we don't have Tom Brady in there that we're rooting to lose. It's just going to
Yeah.
be like a good wholesome
Wholesome
Super
good
Bowl.
football. I feel like it's like, you know, you got your team that kind of bought their team. So you're doing the same thing Tampa Bay did last year in the LA Rams. And it's just like, but then you
Yeah.
got Burrows, who wasn't supposed to really be there. You know, he doesn't have that great of a team. He has some good players on his team. Don't get me wrong. Like Mix is one of the best backs in the league. Chase, Boyd, and T. Higgins are some awesome receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't really supposed to be there though with that offensive line. You know, and he's like willed his team. You know, after last year, him hurting himself and then coming back this year down here in the Super Bowl, that's kind of impressive. So you got the guys that like build through the draft, try to do it the right way, versus the guys that kind of like, we got the money, we're gonna go get these guys, and we're gonna make a team, we're gonna go to Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good underdog story, which is I think a lot of the reason why people are rooting for him as well. And the Rams, like we said, they went and bought their super team. So I would love to see some underdog come and just knock them right out of the Super Bowl after they spent so much money into getting all these stud players. It would just be cool
A
to
lot
see
of wasted money if they
that.
lose, right?
Yeah, it would be cool. Yeah. it would be cool to see that underdog
That would be
story,
awesome. But I tell everybody, I want the Bengals to win. I do. I want to see the Bengals win this, just to get to those guys. I don't like super teams. I don't like when you put them together and they win Super Bowls. It's like it's not. It feels like it's not fair. Like not no other team got that many good players on the same roster. So it seems like it's not fair. And I want to see a normal team win the Super Bowl. Some hard sweat and tears. Homegrown team go out there and win. So we'll see what happens this Sunday. If you had a score prediction, what do you think it'll be?
Oh, 14-21.
14-21 Bengals.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes Stafford, like he's a great quarterback. And I love Matt
Yeah,
Stafford too.
he's good.
Aaron Rodgers owns that division, so
Mm-hmm.
Stafford never could make it to the playoffs or the Super Bowl, but he's a very, very good quarterback, and I'm happy to see him get that far. But sometimes you don't know how he's going to play because I feel like Stafford's going to Stafford. He's going to throw some interceptions. Sometimes
Facts.
he doesn't play his best under the brightest of lights. He has done well this year, so who knows what he'll do in the Super Bowl, but I feel like the Bengals, they're ready to get in there and win it. And Stafford, I think the Rams' success is going to fall on Stafford's lap, whether he does well or not. It's going to come down to what he does. And sometimes he just falls apart.
Yeah, he
So
does.
I
I feel like Stafford and Garoppolo last week was trying to give away the game. Both of them were, trying to give
yeah,
it to each other.
right.
It just came
Yeah,
that
they
Stafford had a
do.
better team
Yeah, they
overall.
those two quarterbacks do remind me of each other, and the fact that there's definitely going to be a point in the game where they're going to try to give it to
Yeah,
you.
there
So
you go, buddy.
um so I
Yeah,
think that Stafford's got to do well, obviously, and Joe Burrow, on the other hand, has to find a way to get the ball out with the pressure that's most likely going to be on him.
nice. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game regardless. Do you watch any of the Pro Bowl at all? The Pro Bowl's this Sunday.
No, I
How many
haven't watched the
Packers
Pro
went
Bowl.
to the Pro Bowl? Do you know?
I don't remember now. Davonte's not going to play. Aaron's not playing. I'm not sure who exactly who said they were going to play this year. Matt LaFleur is coaching it.
Oh, LaFleur.
Yeah.
How you like him as a
So
coach? Who's
I
your
love
favorite
him.
Packer coach?
Him. I love him.
Over what's his name?
He's nice to look at.
What's his name? What's your last coach name that was great?
McCarthy, I couldn't. No, I can't do Mike
Not
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Before LaFleur,
The guy with the beard.
Mike
Holmgren.
McCarthy
Was it Holmgren?
the one before LaFleur is Mike McCarthy for all of Aaron's career there.
Who was Brett Favre's coach?
I I do not remember. I
I
don't
think it's
remember.
Holmgren, the big dude with
Holmgren.
the mustache.
I can picture him in my head,
Yeah.
but being so young back then, I don't remember his name. I can
Yeah.
definitely picture him. Yeah,
I guess if you
but
only had to go out of McCarthy and
yeah.
LaFleur, I can see why you'll pick up LaFleur.
I mean, McCarthy did win a Super Bowl with him, so I don't know. I just like LaFleur a lot better. I think I'm just biased because I mean he's our coach now, and he's super good looking. So he's 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 way more fun to watch on the
You
sidelines.
got LaFleur and Burrow. We got to get these guys on your show. Get both of these guys on your show. Oh man, he said BG 31. Do you think if the Packers won against Snyder? Yeah, I think they would. I think the Packers won. They would have won versus the Niners and be in a Super Bowl right now.
What was the question?
He said, do you think that if the Packers won versus the Niners, that they will be playing in the Super Bowl next week?
Yeah,
Like, do you think they would have beat the Rams, basically?
I do. Yeah, yep. It sucks because everybody
He
that
said
was
Mike
left.
Sherman. That was his name. Am I saying that Holmgren's not the coach?
I don't know. I can picture
Damn.
what you're thinking of, but
You know the guy I'm talking about with the
yeah.
glass, and he had like a little beard.
Yeah. But
It's
like
Brett
I said,
Favre's coach.
growing up, my memory takes me to Mike McCarthy for the most of my Packers career.
He said,
But yeah,
I had an
I think
ex-girlfriend, a huge Packer fan. Brett Favre, did no roll in her eyes. Got her rookie Rogers jersey when she graduated. Told her Rogers would be a very good player. She changed her mind.
she was nervous about Rodgers.
Yeah, she was nervous about Rogers. She's like, good
We
looking
all
like.
were. I mean, when you go
Thanks,
from
Rudy. Good looking like me, or you must be talking about her. My bad. My bad.
when Brett
I think
Favre
that was for
leaves,
you. I
well, I can't read it.
It's like
You'll
good
have to
looking
read
like
them.
you because he's talking about how you said LaFleur is good looking. He's like, oh, good looking like you.
Oh, thank you. LaFleur's got me
Mike
beat.
Mike Holmgren coached before Mike Shermer. Yeah, see, that's who I was thinking about.
So that's way back.
But who won the Packers Super Bowl? It was Holmgren, right? It wasn't McCarthy or Shermer, was it?
McCarthy won when Aaron did.
Oh yeah, McCarthy won that Super Bowl.
Because the last
And
Super
then
Bowl the Packers
Holmgren
were
won the
in was
first one with Favre, and then McCarthy won the second one with Aaron.
yeah, McCarthy was 2010 that when they played the Steelers.
Yeah.
That was the last one that they went to,
So LaFleur
unfortunately.
need to step up his game and get him a Super Bowl if he want to be tight. It's part of the clique.
Yeah, I
But
hope
yeah,
so. I really want that for him, for LaFleur. He's what
do
he's
you?
done what he's done the past couple years. He's just been phenomenal. But I feel like kind of like when kind of like with Aaron when they get into the playoffs, he falls apart with the play calling. Like when another reason I think they lost that
Wait, how many
49ers
Super Bowls
game.
did the Packers got? This guy's like Mike Hogan coached both Super Bowls in the '90s. How many Super Bowls did the Packers got? I thought
4, 1, 2.
the Favre
The
won
the
how many?
first one, the first didn't they win the first two ever? And then
Oh, they
Brett
got
Favre
four.
against
He says four.
4 against yeah. So the first two I think, and then the one against the Patriots with Favre back
Yeah.
in like '96 or something like that, and then with Aaron back in 2010 with Mike McCarthy.
So that would be.
I want to say they've won 4, been to 5. I think Brett lost one against Giants or something like that. I'm pretty sure Brett's lost one and won one.
It says Super Bowls and 1, 2. What's that? 31 and
The
I
first two
I
ever.
don't even know what that is.
The one against Kansas City, the first one. So they've won the first 2 Super Bowls ever.
That
And
was Bart
then
Starr.
yeah, and then Brett
Funny
Favre.
story is, I worked here in Alabama, and I worked at J. Alexander's as a server, and Bart Starr goes there like he went there like every week. You know what I'm saying? So you got to
Aw,
see this legend, old school dude. He's like
that's
hella
so cool.
old though. He's old as dirt. But
He was,
you know,
yeah.
he was cool. You know, him and his family came in and ate there. You know, had a little steak and whatnot, and he did his little thing. That was cool. Like like being an Eagles fan is like it's always good when you see other like legends. You know what I'm saying too. Like it was awesome seeing. You're like, dude. Bart Starr, like the Lombardi trophies, like named after your team. You know what I'm saying? Like you were a Super Bowl 1 and 2. And now you're
Yeah.
just like, this old legend just chilling here eating at the restaurant. That's pretty cool. He lives here in Alabama, I guess. Do you have any stake inside of that Green Bay Packer team? Have you thought about getting any? I know
I've
Green
thought
Bay,
about it. I don't yet. I have thought about it.
right?
I will one of these days.
I remember I just seen somebody say that they just got some Packer stake. Like, all you have to do is be a fan, right? And go
Mhm.
pay money. I think that's awesome. I really think all teams should kind of move to that, where it's like everybody gets a chance to be like the owner. Like you can get your own stake inside the team, and like you own part of the. I want to own part of the Eagles. I think
It is cool. It's really cool the way that they do that. I mean, it's just like such a homegrown team, like
yeah,
small
cheeseheads
market.
too.
Yeah.
Jesus, have you ever had any cheese from Wisconsin?
Cheese, no. Beer, yes. I've only been there one time. I've been
You
to
went to a
Lambeau
game?
once. Yep, just one time. Yep. I went in 2015, I want to say. It was a Sunday night game against Seattle,
Yeah, he did
and
love
it
the
was
Bronx.
when, yeah, when the Packers and Seattle were having that rivalry they've got, where Seattle kind of had the Packers number for a while, and then they Aaron finally went into Lambeau and beat them, and I got to see it. And
Nice.
then and then since then they've beat them, I think, every single time. So,
Hey, at least you got to
but
go
it
see
was
your
great.
team play win.
Yeah.
Like I'm still trying to get me to the Eagles game. You know, I've been an Eagles fan for years. Like over what? I don't want to say my age. Obviously, we already know it, but it's been a long time. You know, and I've only seen the Eagles play in California, really. You know what I'm saying? Like when I lived in Cali, I went to every single time the Eagles came to Cali. You know, playing the
Mhm.
Chargers, playing the Raiders, playing the Niners. You know, I was there the day Nick Foles threw 7 touchdowns, you know, against the Raiders. I was sitting right next to Nick's parents and stuff. That was cool. You know, I met Deshaun Jackson's parents, you know what I'm saying? Like they took pictures with my baby and whatnot. But I've never watched the game inside Philly. I really want to do that. I think that'd be awesome. You know, that's the
You
awesome.
gotta, everyone's gotta go to their favorite team's stadium at
Yeah, at
least
least.
once in their life.
Have you
You
ever thought
have to.
about living in Green Bay?
Yeah. I think about it all the time. I
Is it
do. Like
expensive
when
there? Like how? What is Green Bay like?
I don't
What's
when I,
Wisconsin
like
is
I
cheap
said, I
there? Because you live in New York, and I know that's expensive.
yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I've only been there the one time. It was a lot different than what I expected it to be. It was just really nice. Like it was
Like
really
what do
nice.
they eat there? Are they like really big on cheese? Like they say that's why they're called the cheeseheads.
I don't think so. Like I don't think everyone's walking around with a big block of cheese in their hands and a and a brat in the other. But um,
Did you go to
yeah, I
any
don't
like
know.
landmarks? You know, like any of the like I've been to Philly and I've eaten at Paps and Geno's. You know, their steakhouses there. You know that everybody say are so infamous or whatever. They're alright. They're good, but
No, when I went to Green Bay, I didn't. I think we just went to the game and went to the hotel. I don't think we didn't really
go
do
out.
too much sightseeing. Yeah,
No, right? Was it
but
cold?
I'll make
Was
it
it
back
there?
there.
Was it in the wintertime when it was freezing?
No, nope. It was like the second week of the season, so it was still decent weather. But I do like my bucket list is to make it to Lambeau when it's Lambeau, like when
Well,
it's the
you're in New
Frozen.
York, so like I said. I went to Eagles game in New York too. We were the last game Andy Reid played the Giants. It was his last game. We lost that game. Dude, it was like negative 14 degrees there. And I don't know how you guys do it in New York, but I'm in Cali, and that weather is just like, you know, I'm in Cali. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm going to this game. It's gonna be tight. You know, we're gonna be there for New Year's. It's gonna be awesome. You know, I went online. I went to like Under Armour was popular at the time. You know, and I'm like, yeah, Under Armour winter gear for all the family. You know, I'm saying everybody had the Under Armour winter gear. I'm thinking that if you spend like $100 on this outfit, it's gonna keep you warm. Man, was I wrong. Like I got to New York and it was negative 14 degrees wind chill. And that was the coldest thing I've ever been in my life. Like my kids were getting sick. It was horrible. I hated it. But I said I wanted to go back again in the summertime. Like you're used to the cold up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah and no. Like you really don't get used to it. It just gets so cold where like this brings me to the Packers 49ers game. So the Packers are always like, we need to get this at home. We need the number one seed. We need these warm weather teams to come into Lambeau and play.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I get it when if Lambeau was like 20 or 30 degrees. Okay, yes, that's a huge advantage for the Packers and disadvantage for anybody else coming in. But when you have weather that's 1 degree,
Yeah. Like
it's
negative
not
degrees.
good.
Like
It's
that's
not good for
ridiculous.
it's
Like who
not good
said
for
that you could
anybody.
have weather that cold?
It's not
Negative.
good for anyone. It's not good for the
Like, do you
Packers.
think
It's
if the
not good.
Giants or Jets or Buffalo play the Packers like late in the winter time, like they would have the advantage over the Packers? The Packers only getting like 20. But I told you it was negative 14 degrees wind chill when I was there, and that
I
was the
mean, when
most freezing weather, I had everything in my suitcase on. For real, I'm not joking. Which I did. I had everything in my suitcase on. And I was like, "What's going on? This is freezing cold weather. I can't deal with it no more."
I mean, yeah, if Buffalo or the Giants came into Lambeau, I think it's not going to be much different for them either. They're all those teams are used to that. But like I'm just saying, when it gets to be so cold, it's really not that much of an advantage, even if you are the Packers, because that's just too cold for
Mm-hmm.
anybody.
Like
So
the
I
ice
think,
bowl.
yeah, I just think I don't think when it's that cold that is that big of an advantage for anybody, no
What's
matter
your
who you
comfort
are.
level? Like, how cold does that have to be before you're like, "This is too cold for me"?
Like below 30.
Like, were you born and raised in New York?
I was not born here, but I have lived here most of my life. Yeah, my dad was in the Air Force, so I was
Did you
all
say
over the place.
below 30?
Yeah, 30 feels like if it was 30 right now, it would feel like summertime to me, just because it's so
What?
cold. That's warm
What?
compared to that's warm compared to what our winters
30
are.
degrees is freezing. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Ice
but
Age
what
over here. Are you from Alaska? Are you from Antarctica?
pretty
Do you have
much,
the
I mean,
Antarctic genes in it?
it's
Wow.
yeah, where I'm from here in New York compared to like Philly area and New York City area, that it's so much colder here compared to like Philly, New Jersey
Even colder than Philly.
areas.
I remember when I was getting those cheesesteaks, man. I swear I seen like some people out there with their shirts off walking around. It was like cold as heck. And like you're walking around with your shirt off, and I'm sitting here dying with all my clothes. Like I have packed on, like just changing layers. I had to buy one of them big, thick New York jackets, that kept you warm. And I was still freezing cold out there. And like I'm like, I don't know if this cheesesteak's really worth it just to say I ate here. Like, like I was really hesitant to go do it, but you gotta do it. You're there, you gotta experience the experience and whatnot. But
Mhm.
man, you said negative 30. Like for me, cold is like 60 degrees.
Oh, that's like shorts and a bathing suit, actually,
What?
here in New York.
What? 60 degrees? That's summertime for you guys? So you guys always stay cold over there? Oh no.
No, no. And when it's actually summertime, it gets pretty hot. It does. But when you're so used to 1 degree all winter and then 60 degrees hits, it
Like what's
feels
the
like it's a
coldest day
hundred.
you've been in? Like what was the day that told you like, man, this is freezing cold today? Because you just said under 30. So I'm telling you, I was there and they said negative 14 degrees when I was there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that was freezing.
it was about just the other day, it was about negative 12. And yeah, I couldn't even go outside without getting dizzy. Like I couldn't not even walk to my car to start it and then walk back into my house. I need to get an automatic starter. But yeah, I couldn't walk outside to my car for more than 5 seconds without just wanting to pass out from the cold.
So long as
It was
so
bad.
negatives where you like you said 30
Yeah,
negative.
that I can't do negative.
So
That
at all. So
uh-uh,
if it was
no.
30, 35 degrees, you're like, it's cold today.
The other day, just like two, so we had like negative 12, we had 1 degree here. Uh, I don't know. We've had some crazy low temperatures lately. And 2 days ago it got up to 30 compared to being in the negatives. And that feels so much warmer. It feels like you go out to 30 degrees and you're like, oh, it's a heat wave. Gonna go to the beach today
Yeah,
compared to
Florida, because I'm here in Bama, so I understand the Florida weather. She said in Florida it's been in the low 60s here, and I have the heat on. Fact, it's in Alabama too. It's like 62 degrees, 59 degrees. I'm like full heat blasting, 100 miles per hour. Like I need the heat on, like it's freezing. Like, but like in Cali, like for me, like I said, same thing, like 60. Some nights it would get as low as 59, but really, it didn't get that cold there really that much. And I lived even
I
by the
wish. I wish
Cali
it would
weather
be
was best.
if our winter was 59 degrees, I would love that. That would be fine every day.
You'd be all cool, huh, with your normal shirt on. Just hey, go in the store today. It's 60 degrees outside. It's hot. It's
Yep.
hot for me.
Yep.
Well, hey man, it's been great, man. We are an hour 10 minutes in, man. So you
My
gave
phone,
me your
yeah,
Super Bowl.
my phone's gonna it's on 20%.
Yeah,
So we got
wrap this up, man. Hey, thank you again for joining us. Let everybody know where they can find you at on all your social media platforms.
okay. Facebook, I'm really not. I really don't do too much on there. So Instagram is INDELY, so Indeli04, and then my Twitter is Danielle Indelicato. I know that's hard to
Is
spell.
that Italian?
It is. Yep,
Yes.
yep. And my name Danielle is just one L, so that might help you find me if you're looking. Um, so yeah, Danielle Indelicato on Twitter and Indeli04 on Instagram.
Yes.
And then
And check her.
I also do a podcast. It's the Friesen for NFC North podcast. So we got me and then three other guys, and we all represent each team in the NFC North, and we just talk about what's going on with the teams that week. And yeah, that's about it.
And
Just
you're also gonna be checking her out on BGN Sports Media.
yeah,
She's definitely gonna
yeah.
be
We're
on here.
yep. I
And we
just got that YouTube set up last night, so we'll get that going soon.
yes.
Yeah,
Well, hey, thanks again. Thanks everybody. We still got 16 in here. Much love to you guys. Hit that like, subscribe to every channel, BGN, Bird Gang. If you have not subscribed, there's Danielle's Twitter feed since Grant's the man. He knows it how to find everybody that's on the show. So hey, make sure you subscribe to her, follow her, and let's keep this family growing. Much love to you. Thanks for joining me today on this show, and we look forward to having some more great shows with you.
yeah.
Fly,
Thank you.
Eagles, fly. And
Go
we
Pack,
out.
go.
BG31, Danny. Peace.